Greetings and salutations, Air Force IMSC. I am Senior Master Sgt. Deric Walker. I am a Traffic Management Functional Area Manager here. I've been in the Air Force for 21 years, 17 years in traffic management, 3 years as a First Sergeant, and 1 quick year in protocol. A very wonderful journey thus far. Been a lot of wonderful places, great jobs, great units, and met tons of wonderful people during my career. A lot of lessons learned as well. One that I want to discuss today is I want to discuss my tour during the first term where I had some pretty significant struggles with work-life balance. And I want to talk about work-life balance, some of the things that transpired during my struggle and what I did and what I still do to this day in order to improve. I met my wife, Nicole, in 2005, and we started dating in 2009 and got married in 2010. Wonderful time. 2 weeks after we got married, I went TDY to Alabama. I went to a First Sergeant Academy. And 1 month after I graduated from a First Sergeant Academy, we PCS'd from McCord Air Force Base to Dyess Air Force Base. It's all pretty major at that time, pretty significant because my wife had lived in Washington State her entire life. All of her family was there, all of her friends, and now she and my stepson, her son, were coming with me to Texas. And I reflect on that and I think about how traumatic that had to be for the both of them. Just that transition from civilian life to military life, that's one thing, but transitioning to military life to be a first sergeant's wife is something else, pretty significant. And I was so focused and so excited to get to Dyess to do first sergeant duty that I really didn't give them the attention that they needed during that transition. So we get there and I start doing the job, very demanding. Anyone that's ever worn the diamond or has done additional duty, first sergeant duty can attest. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, phones ringing at 03 in the morning. I'm out in the street taking care of airmen, doing the people's work. And I adjust to the tempo pretty quickly. I get used to working the long days, going in early, coming home late. And when I get home, I start pursuing off-duty education, working towards my bachelor's degree, and I do it day and day, over and over every day. I got used to doing this for weeks and months, and I'm thinking I have it all figured it out and have everything going well, but I really don't because I'm putting all my time, effort, and energy into my job to where my family's getting next to nothing from me. So, like I said, I did this for weeks and months, and I think all is well, and then things get real, and they get real fast. My wife is homesick. Things are happening with her family and her friends, some of the good, some of the bad, but she's missing all of it. She's struggling to find satisfying work there in Abilene. She gave up a really great paying job to marry me and move to Texas. She's struggling with the culture there. She grew up in a city in Seattle, and West Texas is just a big culture change and a change of pace. And, she voiced those concerns to me, but I just figured, hey, she's my wife, she's here with me at Dyess, and I really thought that because she was here with me that she would just adjust and just figure it out. And I came home from work one day, late as usual, and she told me that she wanted to leave. She told me she wanted to leave and go back to Washington. And I knew right then and there that if she left, she would never come back. I was shocked, I was stunned, and I really didn't understand why. I thought that by doing the work that I was doing and providing a home and all the other essentials that came along with me being a provider, that I was doing what I was supposed to be doing, but in actuality I wasn't, because the most important element which I was supposed to bring to the family dynamic was me, and that was the part that was missing. I wasn't being a very good husband. I wasn't being a very good father, partner, confidant, any of those things. I would work all day, but even when I got home, my mind was always on work, and my family could see that, and it was negatively affected because of that. So, it was at that moment that I realized that my work-life balance was off and that I had some serious work that I needed to do. And I was off balance for so long that I was literally about to lose my family. So I know a lot of us can get wrapped around the axle at work. It's really easy to do because we all have a strong work ethic. We're all have breadth of experience, highly intelligent folks, lots of operational competence, and we commit ourselves to the profession, and we want to give 100% to accomplish the mission every day. We're all in. And in my opinion, that's where the issue can arise, giving 100%. I was at the AFIMSC Chiefs Leadership Orientation this past February, and we had a lesson that was given by an instructor from the Profession of Arms Center of Excellence. And the topic of giving 100% to the Air Force came up. And the instructor pretty much mentioned more or less that if you don't give 100%, you're shortchanging the Air Force. And I think he really said that just to spark some conversation and some debate, just to have a healthy banter. And I quickly spoke up and I said, I do not give 100% to the Air Force. And he gave me a puzzled look. I said, but what I did tell him is that I give 100% of what I can to the Air Force. I give 100% of what I have to give to the Air Force. There are too many of us that give 100% to the Air Force to the point that they have nothing left to give to anyone or anything else, and that could be a problem. I said, you've really got to prioritize and consider what you need to do today, tomorrow, next week, next month, so on and so forth. And you got to plan those things out accordingly, and that's personal and professional obligations. You have to work at it. You have to be deliberate in your efforts to be balanced. Realize that there are going to be times where the Air Force needs more from you than normal. Deployments, exercises. I mean, you just think about what we've done here at Air Force IMSC, standing up this organization. I'm sure there have been many folks that have had to come in early, go home late, take work home, work through weekends, so on and so forth. But when those times come up, you not only have to prepare yourselves, but you got to prepare your family. You got to communicate with them as much as you can. Let them know what's going on, provide the details, what you've got to do, how long you've got to do it, what it's for, and just provide that transparency so that they can know what to expect and they can know how to support you during that time. I mean, that's your family. They're your biggest supporters. They're the biggest fans of your fan club. You know, and make sure you do all you can to not have the extra work be the norm, to where you're always working extra all the time. And when that work surge ends, you know, you've got to reciprocate. You've got to give that time back to your family, just as they gave it to you when they were supporting you when you had to give a little bit more to the Air Force. You know, and on the other hand, you know, if life throws you a curve to where you got to focus more energy there, you got to let your supervisor know what's going on with you. You know, let your leadership know. You know, everyone understands that life happens, but you got to communicate that piece as well. You know, the Air Force as an institution has always done an amazing job taking care of airmen and families. You know, and if you give your leadership the opportunity to take care of you when you need more, as far as time off, leave, emergency situations, or just to give reference to support agencies to help you and take care of your family, they will do that. Be transparent and let them know what to expect and let them know how they can help you. Because again, they're fans of yours too, and they'll support you 100%. And when your personal matter gets resolved, we get rebalanced again and we get back to work and we move forward. So, like I said, I used to give 100% to the Air Force, and it nearly cost me everything. Now I give 100% of what I have to give to the Air Force. Service before self, not service instead of self. The Air Force has needs, so does my family, and so do I. So I have to work hard to manage that work-life balance. It's never been a matter to where what I give is not enough. Usually it's more than enough because, you know, I'm committed to the Air Force. I'm committed to its values and its mission. You know, and if you can make it a point to manage that work-life balance, your family, your friend, your support system, they will all appreciate it, and the Air Force will appreciate it too. You'll have stronger, healthier relationships, both personally and professionally. If you can't maintain a good work-life balance, I guarantee you it will cost you one way or another. It will cost you. You know, don't let it cost you your family. You know, your family's committed to you, and like you, they are committed to the Air Force. Don't let it impact your career to where you're not in line with Air Force priorities. One of our priorities is to develop and care for airmen and their families. So make sure you don't keep either in the dark. Keep them informed and put them in a position to support you when you need it most, okay? So in closing, this is Senior Master Sgt. Deric Walker. I'm the Traffic Management FAM here at Air Force IMSC. And I just want to leave you with a little something to remind you that work-life balance is very important. It's something that I still do every single day. I always will, and it's a challenge from time to time, but it is the right thing to do because my family's worth it and the Air Force is worth it. So I hope this can help you in some way, form, or fashion to help you focus on that work and life balance piece. Thank you. Appreciate the time. Take care.